Hello, welcome to the weekly wind-up with myself, Emma Kirke. If you're on social media or watch television and you're into health and fitness, I can guarantee that today's guest will need no introduction. Nichola is sometimes referred to as Nick's Nutrition, and she's joined me today to talk about the dangers of fad diets and cutting your calories too much. Welcome to the show, Nick.
Thank you for having me, Emma.
Now, you're a registered dietitian.
Yes.
Can you just explain, because there's loads and loads of different titles for jobs out there, what exactly is that?
So a dietitian has to have done a 3-year degree or a 2-year degree if you've done some sort of science degree before that. Okay. Being a registered dietitian guarantees a level of education. And then if you're a registered nutritionist, you've also done a similar nutrition topic. If someone calls themselves a nutritionist though, you need to really ask them what sort of training they've had, and it's not guaranteed to be of a good quality.
Okay, so if I'm coming to you, I know I'm definitely going to get the right advice.
Yeah, a registered dietitian can't spout anything and everything. It has to be evidence-based, so you're going to be getting good treatment from a registered dietitian.
Okay, so January and the beginning of the year, I know I've seen a lot of people taking on fad diets and cutting calories. Have you noticed any trends in fads?
I think the biggest trends are just cutting out whole food groups. So whether it's cutting out carbs, we used to see people cutting out fats, it's definitely carbs. Cutting out sugar, especially refined sugar, but then having loads of maple syrup and honey and baking. And also cutting out gluten unnecessarily. Yeah. So gluten is actually a protein, and it's found in mainly like breads, rye, wheat, and people are unnecessarily basically cutting these food groups out of the diet.
And is that because they think that it's having a negative effect on their bodies?
Yeah, I think people are wrongly attributing symptoms such as bloating to, for example, things like gluten, where actually there might be something else going on. So, for example, resistant starches, which are found in things like pizza or garlic bread, crisps, biscuits, can cause a bit of bloating. But because those foods have got gluten in, people wrongly say it's the gluten, and actually it's just the processed bread that they're having.
Okay, so with a fad diet and obviously cutting out whole food groups, what kind of things are going to happen to that person's body potentially?
If people are cutting out whole food groups, then there's a huge risk of nutritional deficiencies. If they're under eating, they might become malnourished, so they might not have the energy to thrive, so their psychological function, their day-to-day function at work, or even if they're going to the gym, so they might be feeling really tired as well.
Low-calorie diets is something I see a lot of people doing, and some of the depths that they take it to is quite scary. What would you sort of consider at that point? At what point do they have a low-calorie diet?
So low-calorie diets, I mean, is anything around the 1,200 calorie mark and below. Very low-calorie diets are around 600, 800 calories. If people are constantly under-eating, then you can experience something called metabolic adaptation. And it's basically where your body adapts to consuming fewer calories. So you burn less calories day to day. So when the person then eats normally, they might experience more weight gain. So it can be really detrimental if someone follows a very low calorie diet in the long term.
Does it have any effect on the production maybe within the body of different medical conditions?
I think hormonal function might be compromised. So, for example, for a woman, if her body fat percentage drops too low, then they might experience amenorrhea, which is a loss of periods. So it can be really dangerous.
Obviously, I see that in sport where they are actually trying to achieve that low body fat. That's not a sustainable thing.
No, it's definitely not. And I think in some sports they require a certain weight for the competition. And then after the competition, it'd definitely be advisable to up your body fat percentage to a healthy, so that no long-term damage is caused.
If you were going to advise somebody on how, if they wanted to lose some weight, how would you, the safest way to go about it, if they don't know anything to start with?
So, I mean, my personal philosophy is eating as many calories as possible whilst achieving your weight loss goal. So if, say, you do a food diary, I think that's a great place to start, and you just get to see exactly what's going on, what you're eating in a week. You don't have to calorie count, but being calorie aware I think is definitely good. So you could, for example, add up what you eat in a day, look at the calories, and I would say cutting your calories by about 10 to 20% will achieve some gradual and sustainable weight loss. You want your diet to be consistent enough so that you're happy with it in the long term, basically.
Yeah, so obviously having some treats, but fitting that into your diet plan almost.
Exactly, yeah. So I promote the 80-20 rule. If you're following a healthy diet 80% of the time, then those little treats won't cause, any damage. They're soul food, so we need them.
And if people are wanting to do this but want to do exercise as well, do they have to change the amount of calories that they're having?
Exercise burns calories, so if you're being more active, then you might be able to get away with eating slightly more calories. So definitely regular activity is beneficial, and it's the other benefits that you get from exercise as well. The improved bone health, better blood pressure, better cholesterol levels, and also better sleep as well. And sleep is also that one thing, as well as stress, that's often neglected. So sleep and stress are crucial if you want to lose weight, getting them under control and sleeping well.
So for me to lose some weight, I need to have a good night's sleep,
Yes.
do some exercise, have a sensible calorie controlled diet.
Yeah, and also manage stress as well, because we know that comfort eating is really common. So being able to comfort yourself with things other than food, but sleeping well definitely, because we all know if we haven't slept as well, then things like sugary biscuits become so much more attractive.
Maybe that's my problem. Well, thank you. It's really informative. It's been a pleasure talking to you today.
You too.
And that's all we have time for, unfortunately. So if you wish to discuss this or any other topic you see on KLTV, our social media and contact details are on the screen. Thank you for watching. I'm Emma Kirke. Goodbye for now.